Hi, my name is Lael McDill. I'm the maker of Silly Millie's Slice and Bake Polymer Clay Canes. Today I'm going to show you how to make a glass jar with your Silly Millies. This is one that I decorated with all kinds of different Silly Millies and baked it right on a jar. So I'm going to show you today how to make a smaller one. I've got this little glass jar and it has a lid, which is metal, so I know both of those things can make it in the oven without melting. Glass and metal is usually totally fine. So I'm going to take my Silly Millies, and you can get Silly Millies at claysquare.com. They come in two sizes, large size and small size. It's always nice to have all kinds of different designs so you can play around with them. Today I picked out a mandala design, a cat design, a random checker, which I also call the really warm worm cane, and a face design. So all I'm going to do is take my cutting tool. I like to use any kind of thin blade, and I'm going to slice it about the thickness of a nickel. And I like to make a whole bunch of slices right at once so that I have those to play with, and I can make them different sizes too. I'll do some the same size, but some might be fun to make smaller, like the face. If I want to make the face smaller, I just roll it smaller and smaller like this, and I can make it any size I want. And if I want to, I can also stretch it. That will help too. Sometimes after you've rolled it a little ways, the end gets a little bit distorted, so you can take that little slice off. You still might be able to use it though. And I'll make a whole pile of little slices. And I also have this really warm worm cane, as I call it. If you know how it's made, you know that's why. It's square, so to stretch it, I'm pulling it like this rather than rolling it, because I want to keep the square. So this one's nice and soft, so it's stretching and getting smaller faster. Sometimes it just takes a little while to kind of warm things up and get them to be different sizes. So I'll make some slices of that. These design canes are really fun to repeat over and over again because of the way they come together and make another design. So as you can see, I've got a nice little row. So once I've got some slices made, I can just decorate away. With a glass jar, you're probably going to want to do at least rings around the jar because that'll make it a little sturdier. If you do just put one thing right there in the middle like that, it could pop off after it's baked, but you could super glue it back on if you want to. So you could cover the whole thing, which is done by just pressing it on. And you can let the colors, let the canes, the polymer clay canes, go right next to each other. So that got me part way around. I'll cut up some more. I'll go more around. I always think it's really fun to just be creative and make any kinds of designs that come out. You can be organized or you can be random, whatever you like to do. So I'm just laying those on and giving a little press. You do not have to press very hard. It really sticks to the glass very easily. So I made it almost all the way around. It looks like I'm going to overlap just a little on the other one. That's okay, especially with a design like that. Now I might put on some others. Maybe I'll just make it a little space in between, especially if it's a glass jar that you want to be able to see what's inside it. You can leave space showing, especially a really pretty colored glass jar. Maybe I'll put a few more of these. And you just keep decorating. If you want to make it smoother once you've covered it, you can roll it with a rolling pin and smooth it out, or you can just leave it kind of textured or a little bit lumpier if you like. Oh, I didn't put any of the cat on. Let's see, maybe I could do that up here on the edge. And if you bend it like that, that works too. The clay is really easy to work with. So I can put 4 little things like that. And so I could stop like that, or I could keep adding more. It just all depends on how you want it to look. And if you put something on and you wish it was different, you can always peel it off and rearrange it. It's very easy to work with. So that's how you decorate your glass jar. When you bake it in the oven, you want to bake it at 275 for 30 minutes, and then let it cool off. Sometimes you can let it cool in the oven, so that's always helpful. And that kind of keeps it from getting bumped or anything. And then just have fun with it after you're done.